Hello, this is Jonathan with New Life Scientific, and I'm going to talk about this Labconco. First off, this is the bottom unit's 220, the top unit's 115, so they'll have to be in two different outlets. The next thing is when you first get this unit uncrated, put into your lab, the first thing you want to do is the power buttons are right here, on and off. Obviously it's on right now. The bottom unit is off. Down here basically you have refrigeration, vacuum, and defrost, so there's not actually a power button. If these are all off, then the unit's off. So the first thing you would do on this particular unit, if you want to start it and get it running, would just be to simply turn on the refrigeration unit. This is preset to -55 by the manufacturer, and it will start dropping in temperature over a short amount of time. After it gets to around -50, you can turn on the vacuum pump. You're initially going to hear maybe a little more noise for the first couple, say 10 to 30 seconds, as it's trying to pull all that air out of the system. And then as it gets more of the air out of the system, then it'll quiet down, kind of like right now. You can see the numbers dropping. It's pulling down below atmospheric pressure. And so that one's pretty self-explanatory. Once you turn the refrigeration off, the vacuum off, and you wanted to go in defrost mode, then you can turn this to on, and then the unit would go into the defrost mode and bring the temperature back up. On this unit, it's a little bit different setup. Right now we're just monitoring the temperature, so you can see the temperature set at goes to a preset of -40. I mean, that can be changed by moving these buttons here. Actually right here, this is where you can change the set point temperature. Hit manual, go into this display here, and then you can change whatever temperature you want if you're in the manual mode. And so if you click here, you got manual lights up, or auto would light up. And so right now we're in manual mode. And this is where you monitor what we're at. So we're at -40 degrees. We're sitting at 221 is the vacuum, and it's slowly decreasing because we just turned the vacuum on a few minutes ago. To get into your auto or to your settings to do like a recipe, you would go into program, auto, and this is where it has 5 preset segments. And I would just try to maybe flip back and show you that. So I'm just hitting the down key when the segment light is flashing. It shows some preset segments that the manufacturer has installed. Now these can be changed by doing this. So we're in segment 1, we can hit enter, and this is your ramp, so ramp up temperature. So you can change this by hitting the up and down arrows to change your ramp temperature. And then you hit enter again, and then once you get to that ramp temperature where you say whatever temperature you want that to be, then you can hold that temperature, so whatever your recipe is, for a period of time. So you can hold it. This is the hold temperature, so whatever, you can just change your temperature by just moving again the arrows up and down, and then whatever time that you need, and you can set that there as well. And you can preset these segments that they will be saved, and then next time you run them, you can go back and use that same recipe. And you can set up, like I said, there's 5 different segments you can do that with. And again, we just have, I think I've already mentioned this, the monitor shows you our voltage. The manual, again, goes back to where we're at right now, and you can just preset that up to -40 or +40 degrees. And this is where your program would be. You want to go in and program just like we did. It just automatically, when you hit enter, it goes right to the auto, and you can program your recipes. Same thing, you can hit manual and auto, and then you just have to hit run, and then the unit will kick on, the refrigeration will start working. Same thing, if you want to stop the machine, you hit that same button because it's run or stop, and it'll shut the machine down, and then you can turn this switch on and off. These two dials here is one to release your vacuum, You just open it and it just comes out this port. And also this is the stop ring. So the stop ring works off the vacuum. So your vacuum has to be pulled down to, you can't do it immediately as once you kick the unit on. Once it runs for a few minutes, then you can basically turn this to raise, and as you can see, it starts filling up that bladder, and it'll collapse your vials and seal your vials up, and it collapses all the shelves. And then when you're done, you can just turn this to lower, and it will slowly let the air out of that bladder as you can see the vacuum going down, because basically it's lowering, or back up because it's lowering that bladder, so releasing that air out of the bag. And once all the air is released, then it'll start pulling back down to the desired as far as it can on the vacuum. The other thing is the drain's down low here. So if you want to drain, this will slide out a little ways, and you can have a bucket, and you can pull this just pulls out. You can drain any condensation that you may have. And it's also another quick way to release the vacuum as well. I believe that's all that I have. I'm gonna send with this particular unit, I do have a manual that I'll be sitting with it. If you, explains a little bit more in detail what I'm talked about in a very short amount of time. So if you have any questions, again, I'm Jonathan with New Life Scientific, technician here. Appreciate your time. Thank you.